Jump to the 13th Ma'amakim, so maybe it's together also the Viduchasa saying this heter is I think this heter is together. Don't try this at home. But it's a cute shtickle I found in 13th Ma'amakim Derech Sadikim. So he brings there's a Pirush on Yosef Avram. So he brings a bunch of Ertlach he heard from Sadikim. So he writes about Tanis and he says the Shemaiti mi Chassid Yashish Echad the Alta Chassid Shnosal Arav Hakadosh Cheskel Mikazmir. He was a big maker by tiniest. But Omar Sha'anshi Knesses Hagdela Shetiknu HaTiniest Misbaishin Ashla Histakavadera Salem. Anshe Knesses together Masak Tanesin, they're Pasha embarrassed that when they were Masak and Tanesin, they weren't thinking about the later generations where it's going to be so hard for them. The Sipra Kamin Yanim Mikulesav Shea Kashali Lichte.
Wow.
He told everything out of his coolies, which was hard for me to write down. So he brings them, but so he doesn't tell you about those coolies, so he tells you about a different one you heard. You heard Sheshum Isha Sheruya Dain Lele Leitisane Kiim Vim Hakidash. Had any Isha not only pregnant, if she's ready to be pregnant, then she shouldn't fast even on Tisha Bav except for Yom Kippur. Because maybe she's going to get pregnant.
Her body. You know why? Because what?
She should hurt her body. She should be able to become pregnant.
Right. That might minimize her chance of getting pregnant.
Right.
So whatever. I think. Alright, that was a cute stickle. But I think this heter together. Don't try this at home. And but
it's also much more.
So we're going to see. So we're going to get so we have to say. So we'll start Bechlal. What's the din about the Bechlal about all the tinies? And then we'll get the Tisha Bav, and then we'll get what about Tisha Bav nidche. So. First thing you have to figure out is the Tanisim. Are they Deraisa? Are they Derabanan? What are they?
So there's only one Tanis that's Deraisa. Same as Siri.
But we have Psukim which talk. We have Psukim in Nach which talk about the four Tanisim.
And say what?
So we have in the thing dinim which are brought down or which are learned out from Nach and some of the Torah. Even though it's not regular Divrei Torah, but it's called Divrei Kabbalah. And Divrei Kabbalah we treat it like Divrei Torah. So we have to figure if we treat it like a deraisa. So we have to figure out is it derabanan or is it divrei kabbalah? What are the tanisim?
When you say divrei kabbalah, you mean the psukim from Nach?
Yeah, and we treat it like divrei Torah. So in the first Maramakim, there's the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah, Daf Yud Ches Amud Beis. The Gemara says the Amar Rav Nacha bar Bizna, Amar Rav Shimon, Chasida. Mein Chsiv Kayam Hashem Tzvaim Haravi Tzvaim Hachmish V'Tzvaim Hashvi V'Tzvaim Hasidi all the four Tanisim Yel Abis Yehud L'Sasin L'Simcha. They're all going to be Sasin and Simcha. Right. So we're talking about we have Tzervi the Shivas V'Tamaz, yeah. Then we Chamishi Tisha Bav Tzvaim Hashvi and Tzvaim Gedalia and Hasidi Sara B'Tevis. So Yel Abis. So it says it's going to be Sasin L'Simcha. So Kari L'Hutzayim. On one hand, we call it a fast. We Kari L'Sasin L'Simcha. How can you say both things in the same sentence? The same is going to be L'Sasin L'Simcha.
I don't get it. It's saying yeah.
Same Hasi Yel Abis Yisrael. Saying what's the shayla? It's not talking about now. It's going to be in the Asin. Maybe we shouldn't call them a Tainus anymore. We should call it. Okay, I hear the Gemara is bothered by the question. Okay, I don't know.
Okay.
The Gemara says, "Amar Papa, Hachi Kalmar." This is what the pasuk means to say. Bisman sheyesh shalom, you will susten simcha. In time when there's shalom, meaning that the Yidden we have the Melech Yisrael and we're not being ruled by the Goyim, then there's going to be susten and simcha.
Are we going to fast or not?
We're not going to fast. Yesh Gezeres HaMalchus, but if there's no shalom and there's Gezeres from the Malchus, then it's same. We're going to fast. We're in Golus and we're having tzaras from the Goyim, then we're gonna fast. What if it's in between? What if it's in Gezeres HaMalchus ve'in shalom? Meaning we're not ruling, the Yidden are not in control. We're under the Goyim, but there's no Gezeres. The Goyim are making tzaras for us. What's then? So then we say Ratzu Misani, Ratzu Eimisan, and then it depends. Depends on the Yidden. If they either want to fast, they can fast. If they don't want, they don't have to fast. So the Gemara says, Yihachi Tisha Bav Nami. Also Tisha Bav, we also should need to fast. So Amar Papa, Shani Tes Ba'av, Hoyo V'Huchlu B'Y Hatzaris.
Maybe Taka is food with everything else.
So the Gemara says, Shani Tes Ba'av, Hoyo V'Huchlu B'Y Hatzaris. Since the Tzaris until...
Why is
because the pale the Yidden were mekabel to fast, and
he's asking what's the hava min of the Tisha Bav is worse. It's grouped with all the others. why are we making it harder to have to ask an answer that maybe that one shouldn't be?
So, because Lapel, the reason we're making. Because even now, Lapel, we're more the reason. Saying even in the times of the Gemara, they knew that the other three Tanaisim were different. How come by the other three Tanaisim, by Yeshivas or B'tamas, we're allowed to eat at nighttime? How come we're allowed to wear leather shoes? How come we're allowed to wash ourselves? So really, Betzem, in the time when they were Saras, when there's Xedas, it was exactly the same as Tisha Bav. You couldn't eat at nighttime, and when they were Saras and Midivrei Kabbalah, they were for the fast, it was exactly like Tisha Bav. All the things that are also on Tisha Bav, you can't wash yourself, you can't do on Shivas or B'tamas either. But Elamai, since now, Mikar Adin, we don't need to fast. It's only because of Ratzun. It's only because we were Mekabel the fast. So we were only Mekabel the fast from the morning, and we weren't Mekabel the fast Lagabe, washing ourselves. We weren't completely Mekabel the whole fast. But whereas Tisha Bav, we see, you can't be Mekel. Tisha Bav, we treat it exactly as if it was still Midivrei Kabbalah, as if it's still applied. So why? So you say Midarabana, since Huchel by Yatzaris, therefore we're more Machmir. So at the end of the day, it comes out what we see from here is that all the Tanaisim now are really only Midarabana. In Divrei Kabbalah, you don't have to do them because since we don't have tzaras from the Goyim, and in Elamai we were mekabel to do it. But we see, even though we're only mekabel, only Midarabana, we see there's a chiluk in Tisha Bav and other Tanaisim.
But now we're considered Ein Zeis Melech Ben Shalom. What level are we considered now?
I saw some people bring up the Shiloh. There's some subs nowadays, and maybe
I would call it Zeis Melech Malchus.
Which country you're in? Some countries
In
it's
America,
bad,
if your president is not Obama now, so it's a bit better.
yeah, but let's say in Germany and in France and in England.
Gaza Strip and Solem.
So in Eretz Yisrael, I don't. So the pill. So this is Lagabi. Pasha is only the Rabbanan the Tanaisim nowadays. So who needs to fast? Who doesn't need to fast? This is the Gemara M'Sakim in the second Maramakim. The Gemara says after Dalet Amud Beis, Darash Rava Ubereis Umanikos Misanis Umashlimos Bay. Pregnant and nursing ladies need to fast, and they need to finish the fast. It's talking about Tisha Bav. So right away it tells you that on Tisha Bav there's no chilik whether they're muberes or meinekas. They could be pregnant, they could be nursing, they still need to fast.
Except the first week. Except the first week.
First week of V'Yeledes.
Yeah.
Oh, so we didn't talk about a Yeledes yet, right? So first of all, we didn't say what's about the other Tanaisim. The other three Tanaisim, do they also need to fast? A muberes and a meinekas, a pregnant and a nursing lady, do they need to fast by the other three Tanaisim? And we also didn't say what's the din by someone who gave birth by Tisha Bav. So that's where we're going to get into the next Maramakim. So the third Maramakim, the Hagais Maimedes brings a story from Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam was Mekel for Isha who gave birth to eat on Saint Gedalia. Third Maramakim, he writes, Rabbeinu Tam heter the Isha Yeledes la'echel b'Saint Gedalia. It's not for her to eat on Saint Gedalia, Shahiyah Shmini Lili Dasa, even though it was the 8th day from when she gave birth, so she's not a Chila Sheish B'Sakana. It's not Sakana Sefashas anymore. You can't eat Lechal Shabbos for her. Still, she's allowed to eat. Why? The Afal Ganav Damrina B'Perek Mefanin Tal Achar Zayin Yoyim Im Amra Ini Tzricha In Mechalin Alasa Shabbos. Even though we say that Lagabe Shabbos after 7 days, on the 8th day she's not considered like a Cholish Sheish B'Sakana. You can't be over Isser Deraisa for her. And the same Gedalia is Divrei Kabbalah. Divrei Kabbalah ke Divrei Torah. So it's like Divrei Torah, and you shouldn't be makel for her to eat on Sim Gedalia because there's no sakana. Still, he says we're going to be makel. Afilu hachi mutter the armin beperek hamadei shashanai kari leit tzayin v'kari leit sasin. It says tzayin, then it says sasin. So v'chulu until the Gemara ends off. Ratzu misani, ratzu ei misanin. Gemara says
over there was she saying ain't tzricha ein mechalin olas Shabbos after Zayin. Here she's saying tzricha.
No, but the point is that she's gone out of the sakana, the category of sakana.
But she's saying ain't when she says ain't tzricha. What if she would have said tzricha?
I think even then, right? I think we're still not machal Shabbos. I was wondering about the lashon. I have to. So he has the answer. So he also answers. Since the Gemara says that it's all totally on Ratzu, Misanin, Ratzu Misanin, If so, lekahu rishus, so lechatchil nowadays all the 3 Tanasim is really in rishus. That's we didn't have to fast. So elamai we were mekabel. So once we're mekabel, we're only mekabel for regular people. We weren't mekabel the tainis for a muberes aminekas. People who are for ladies who are nursing and pregnant. So therefore, he says that's why he was mekel by Sin Gedalia for the lady gave birth to eat. So this is. So this is a cool of Rabbeinu Tam. He says he could be mekel by the other 3 Tanasim, right? And the same thing would apply also by Muberes Aminekas. They could also let us all these 3 cases. A lady could eat on the other 3 Tanasim. But what's not? But one thing he doesn't say, he wants to do enough Tisha Bav. Could a ledes also be? Could a ledes also eat on Tisha Bav? We saw before. The Gemara says clearly that a pregnant nursing lady cannot eat on Tisha Bav. What about if she just gave birth, meaning within 30 days after birth? Could she eat on Tisha Bav? So he doesn't. The Rabbeinu Tam didn't say. But for that we have the 4th Maramokim. The Torah writes in Sim Tavkov that you could be mekel. Because of Aramban, umihu chaya kol shlishim yoyim. Someone gave birth within 30 days. So to someone who is sick and he needs to eat, ain't tzarich oimid. Camera's in the wrong place. You don't need to take him to the doctor and ask if it's dangerous, if he needs to eat or not. They feed them right away. So the Torah brings an Ramban. The Ramban says that for someone who gave birth and for a sick person, you could be mekel on Tisha Bav, even on Tisha Bav.
This is 30 days. Where do we get 3 and 7 from?
3 and 7 is like to be Mechal Shabbos.
That's the same thing by Tisha Bav, no?
No, the Ramban says not.
Even 30 days. Yeah.
The whole 30 days. The whole 30 days are going to be able to eat. And so to recap again, so we said someone who's pregnant and nursing, we said they could be mekel on other 3 Tanasim, but they can't be mekel on Tisha Bav. And then we have the heter of the Torah from the Ramban that someone who just gave birth within 30 days and someone who is sick could eat on Tisha Bav. This is even a regular Tisha Bav, not nidche. So the Chavar Taka Paskins like this din that they're allowed to eat. However, the Marshal in Shlomo Luria, he has a tshuva where he argues. He says he thinks Rabbeinu Tam earlier would be machmir. Rabbeinu Tam only said that a ledes could eat on Tzen Gedalia. She didn't say that she could eat also on Tisha Bav. So he argues, says the halacha that she's not allowed to eat even on Tisha Bav. So that's in the 5th Maramokim. He writes in Alma, only because if they want, you could fast, since it's rishus. These Tanasim aren't so strict for us, kolkach. That's why we're makel by ledes. Avol tesbav shechivahu liyisanis, but Tisha Bav, which is a chiv to fast, they ain't based in yechein levatle, kiven shehuch v'lo yhatzares, since the tzares are so bad. Kedisa hasam bal karchach asu chizik l'divrein kishal teira. You have to say that chachamim make it made a chizik and we treat her like a dvar teira, and she can't eat even though she just gave birth, unless she's within 7 days. And therefore also people who are nursing or pregnant and they have a lot of pain, which on the other tainis they don't have to fast, still Tisha Bav they have to finish the fast. So too someone who gave birth. So the Rashal argues he's machmir, and the Peel, the Ramal, the Bach, and the Leisekim, they say that they write that the minhug is to be machmir and Tisha Bav unless you have a lot of tsar. I'm saying whatever. So it's not machlekes. So I'm saying it's not again for this year. But the Peel, and there are places who are makel b'chal, and there's some places who say the minhug is not machmir. So on a different kriyos you can ask Rav what to do. But this year's kriyos is different because it's a Tisha Bav nidche. So regular Tisha Bav, we have a machlekes whether a ledes, someone who gave birth, is able to, within 30 days, is able to eat. So we're going to see that, however, if it's nidche, it's going to be different. In the 6th Maramokim, the Magen Avraham brings it down. The Magen Ram says, "V'heicha de nog, even though people say there's a minhag not to eat for Yeladas and Tisha Bav, so whatever there's a minhag, you can't argue with the minhag. Mihu, however, Tisha Bav shenitcha yesh lo hakel. If Tisha Bav is nidche, then you could be meko. This is for a Yeladas he's talking about, right? Someone gave birth within 30 days. So you see the Magen Ram says within 30 days you could be meko. And what's his makar? He says, Ayin, Seif, Siman, Tav, Kufman, Tess, Sif, Tess. What is it talking about over there? Over there it's talking about if you have a bris milah on Tisha Bav. It's the Sudas mitzvah for this, is the father and the son, are they allowed to eat? So the Shulchan Aruch says over there that if it's Tisha Bav nidche, they're allowed to eat by the bris milah. So when the Magen Ram says, if you see over there by Tisha Bav nidche, you can be makel for the father to eat by the bris milah, you can be makel also for a led that's within 30 days. That's talking about a ledes.
Passing like that?
For by bris milah?
Bris milah, for Tisha Bav.
I don't know. The Chaver says that. I didn't look too much further into it. And it's like going. So this is one kula we have. Tisha Bav nidche for sure. A ledes could eat. So what about someone who is nursing or pregnant? So this is from the Shvus Yaakov, brought down by the Kivega and the Mishnah Berurah. It says that Tisha Bav nidche could also be makel also for someone who is nursing or pregnant. In the seventh Mara Mokin, when the Shvus Yaakov Siman Lamed Zayin, right? So the Shaykh was someone wrote it was Tisha Bav nidche, and it was during the day, and he was had a hard time eating, and the Rav told him that he should have a mincha and eat. He shouldn't finish the fast. So he told us. So he answered, and that was the story. So Shvus Yaakov writes to him, Tshuva, for sure this out the Rav said that you should have a mincha gedela v'yechal and then eat. Yafe asa. For sure that was a right psak. Why? Kiven shenidcha tes ba'ov al yem aleph. Since Tisha Bav was pushed off to Sunday, ein tzarich lahashlam afilu chelik sas. Even someone who's a little bit sick, he says you don't need to be mashed in the fast. So too, this is how I pass him for someone who gave birth within 30 days. Or she's pregnant and she has a michash ksas. She's not feeling so good. She could also eat. If mishum kavid hamila were a makel for that the father could eat by the suda, so kol shekain someone who's not feeling well. So this is.
So that means on a nidche, there's a bris the father could eat.
So what do we do l'maisa? And Shulchan Aruch says the father could eat. What do we do l'maisa? Are we taking egg like that? I don't know. I didn't look into that shiloh too much. And so this is the psak that is brought down by the Kivega in the Mishnah Berurah that on Tisha Bav nidche muberes, someone who's pregnant, nursing, someone who gave birth within 30 days are all allowed to eat. So I hope I didn't lose everyone between all the back and forth. This is the psak here, and so they're allowed to eat. So the next discussion is that even though they're allowed to eat, but how do they have to fast a little bit? Do they have to wait till they're not feeling good, or could they eat right away? Or also, do they need to eat pachas mikashir like on Yom Kippur? Yom Kippur, you have to eat less than a shir. So do we say the same thing by Tisha Bav? So this is also machlek is different poskim, and I asked different rabbanim l'maisa. I got different answers. So there isn't I didn't hear a clear psak. But we'll see the different shittas. The eighth Mara Mokim is the Eliyah Rabbah. He brings down from the Beis Hillel that you have to, even though she could eat, you have to fast for a few hours at least, fast a little bit. Now you're right. Kosab a sefer Beis Hillel, Siman Reish Lamachei. The Leda Sheina Misane Mikol Mokim Shich Lisanis Eiza Shah. She needs to wait a little bit. She can't just eat right away.
Tisha Bav or no? Tisha Bav.
He's talking about Tisha Bav. Yeah. Truly, I don't think he was talking about Tisha Bav nidche and
regular Tisha Bav.
Regular Tisha Bav, yeah. You let us, even people are making by you let us eat on Tisha Bav. He says still you have to fast a little. You have to fast a little bit.
The kids, they're telling them we can't. Young kids, they should fast like a week later.
Okay, yeah. So just remember that it's not a regular day. In the 9th Maramaka, the Shari Tshuva writes, he writes on the base hill, he says, V'akolafia Inyan. It depends on the person. I mean, kasha lak sasi and sichla klal. If it's not hard for her and she needs to eat right away in the morning, it's not hard for her, he says he could be mekel.
When you see the way you put in that word, you could have left out that word.
Kasha lak sas.
If you would have left out that word, then kasha lak.
Yeah.
Now we put in a kasha lak sas. There's even a drop.
So there's the Avnei Nezer go writes more. He writes that you don't need to be machmer at all. He says once you're matter, it's hutra. Once he said you could eat. There's no you can't. No. It says clearly that you can't be leisanig. You can't stop eat till leisanig and to enjoy yourself. But you don't have to push yourself. In the 10th Maramaka, Avnei Nezer writes in Siman Tavkuf Men. He says Dvar Tzim Hachmishi. This is how you ask about Tisha Bav Asher. His doctor? Okay. That's right. Okay, a doctor.
This is not the time for
a doctor. He warned you not to eat. The Bakushi he was matter for you to fast until Chatzis. So he says, "Hadavar butter shalayli hisan is clown." Says Davar is where you should not fast at all. The Mokim Chayli goes around Rabban, the Rangizer at all. The Hachi Kaimelan,
not like we said before.
not like the base Hillel, yeah. The Hachi Kaimelan Shulchan Aruch.
The Al
Yerabba, the base Hillel.
Yeah.
He's not. He says not like him. Hachi Kaimelan Shulchan Aruch. We let us take Shlishim Leitis Anna. It says Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch doesn't say you have to wait. Shulchan Aruch says you don't need to fast. So Avnei Nezer says that you don't have to fast at all. So
it could be in El Yerabba that the Yoledes didn't have no tsar. Therefore, he told her to fast an hour. I was thinking she had tsar, so he told her not to fast at all. We don't know.
You're saying loves after the arguing.
The doctor
He says Makim Chayli goes to Rabbanon.
The problem was that it wasn't a problem.
He says that he goes to Rabbanon. Okay, there are other shuvas, other places in Shayla. There's Shuva Shayla later. He also gets into Shayla. Do you say it's Hutra or is it Tchuya? Do you say that really is a fast on life? Kishi, we're being matir. So you have to fast a little bit. Do you say it's Hutra, it's a Heter Gomer, and you don't have to try to fast at all? So this is machlekes on Peskin. I got also different. I called the fear of I also got different answers whether she should fast a little or not. And so that's one machlekes. In the 11th Maramakim, there's a chip from the Samach Tzedek regarding if you need to eat pachas mikashir on Tisha Bav. If you're going to be makel, you need to eat in small amounts, or you could eat a full sandwich. So all the placing they're discussing the machla cholera, whatever, and there's a cholera. So it was a big epidemic that was going around all over there. There are tons of chivas from all the places discussing it, and they all the places can write that you shouldn't eat because even though they didn't catch the sickness yet, but if you're not eating, your body is weaker and it's more prone to catch the sickness. They say you shouldn't eat, but a lot of places they all write that you should eat less than a shear. Samach Tzedek also writes like that in the 11th Maramakim. He writes that b'makim she'ein machla b'chazaka chas v'shalom, if the machla isn't so strong, so nira sheicha pachas mika kaiseves. So you shouldn't fast even on Tisha Bav. You should eat less than a kaiseves b'chdei achilas pras. You should eat less than the shear. B'chein v'shtiya. Also, you should drink less than the shear. Commission is very hashiyurim b'shulchan aruch sin tafei shir chas. As is explained in Hilchos Yom Kippur, the kachish lahidis kein l'sheil b'tes Tisha Bav shebezeli nekar tainus negani. Because of this, the tainus isn't completely nekar, but Rachman aliba boy, Leibasha wants to liba. You were miskaven to fast. You tried a little bit. You did something different, and you didn't eat. You less. You pachas mikashir. Leibasha appreciates that too. So this is a tshuva from the Samach Tzedek. He says that you have to eat pachas mikashir. Well, a lot of
this is a truth of the gabi, the sickness, or the gabi person doesn't feel good.
It's the sickness in times of this epidemic.
Oh.
They were said that out there. It's so sad. They're saying that in a place where it's epidemic, no one should fast. We should eat less than a shear.
But this is not going to write it to somebody who doesn't feel well. We don't know.
Oh, okay. So we're going to see the Shevet Halevi. So the fail there are a lot of places in Mitaka say that you don't need to eat pachas mikashir. Once you're allowed to eat on Tisha Bav, you could eat properly. You could eat or you could even eat a shear. What about you see from Samach Tzedek other places that you need to eat less than a shear? So the Shuv on the Shevet HaLevi, he wasn't talking about Tzemach Tzedek, he was talking about a different Shuva who says the same thing. That he says there was different. He gives two reasons. One, because over there no one was fasting, right? No one was fasting. So if you say that everyone could eat regular, it turns out the whole Tainus became this battle. The whole country, no one's fasting. So therefore, they said you should pachtim mikashir. That shouldn't be completely batal. The second answer he gives, like you said, that the person wasn't actually sick. You're worried maybe he's going to become sick. That's why we're machir pachas mikashir. But a sick person could eat regular. So let's read in the 12th Marim. He writes in from the Shevet HaLevi Chelik Dalet Simin Nun Vav. According to my opinion, like Cain, you don't have to eat pachas mikashir. Ela b'makei machla hanal, but just in that case, by the cholera. The whole time was completely nekar. They were master of the whole cult to eat. You're being completely akar, a very strict tainis. So therefore, in this case, in order that that people shouldn't completely forget about Teras Tisha Bav legamri,
so that's when it was Ahiras Tzibur.
Yeah.
You're allowed to eat, so he says you should eat so that you're still recognizing that there's a fact.
Yes.
But when it's an individual that's getting a heter, then you're not worried. You can eat regular.
Yeah. That's what the Shevet Levi says. In the second paragraph, he says another chiluk. He says v'oid da'adayin einam chilim klau. In that case, by the cholera, they weren't even sick yet. You're worried about maybe they're going to become sick. So if so, and the reason that we're master for them to eat is because if you don't eat, then you could become sick. In such a case, where the person is not actually sick, you're worried he's going to get sick, so then you should eat pachas mikashir. You shouldn't eat the full amount. But not so in a case where they already became sick. So if you in case only became sick, you don't have to eat pachas mikashir. So Lamaisa, so this is a different one, a different days. One Rav said that a Milvera should eat pachas mikashir. One Rav said that no, you don't, because she's already considered like a chayla, and therefore she doesn't need to fast. So ask your Rav. There's different days. These are the.
Does it depend on what she says also? Does it depend on what she says also?
Oh, what your wife says?
Yeah. No, like you have to ask. No?
Saying on how much tsar she has.
You have to ask her. Like, that's what the din says. You ask if she's like this.
Hey, we have a minion to bench, so. There's nobody that didn't eat, right? You had some sinus.
What about the